All right, sorry if there's any confusion if you're hearing us out there in Derby land. Right now, up next, we got Sirens of Savannah taking on the Diamond City Miners. I'm Tom Foolery. With me is George Carnage. We have an exciting bout. We got the returning champions. Oh, here we go. Hello, folks. I'm Tom Foolery.
I'm George Carnage.
All right, we're back here with action here at the 2018 JRDA Championships, and what a treat we have for you now. We have the Diamond City Miners Open team, reigning champs.
They're taking on the Sirens of Savannah. Now, I saw them play this morning, and they did an amazing job. They have some really good jammers game for that team, and obviously they won that game, so we're going to see what happens this game.
Yeah, most definitely so. Right now, reigning champs, #1 all season long. The Sirens of Savannah come off that Quad City game earlier today, had a nice decisive win. Coming into the tournament, 9-7 for the Sirens of Savannah. Well, of course, guess what? Diamond City Miners 7-1 all season long. So let's run down our rosters real quick.
Okay, skating for Diamond City, number 007, Blonde Assassin, 5, Ginger Snapper. 063 Bumper Car, 100 Monster, 12 Ambush Ash, 1230 Sam I Slam, 4 Mini Maniac, 42 Mount Rushmore, 54 Basing, 6 Worthy, 79 Little Regulator, 8 Little Dutch Explosion, 8 82 Hot Mess, 89 Speed Brian, and 918 Miss Demeanor.
All right, for the Sirens, up now, second game of the day. We have 02 Cinderella, 151 Dr. Boom, 22 Tin Grip, 26 Kit Kat, number 3 Scarly Davidson, 3737 Smiley, 411 Mad as Sin, 449 Blitzy, 61 Jade Grenade, 775 Prim Reaper, 89 Stutter Struck, and 9904 Bones. All right, we're going to turn it over to the referees. Right now, we already got Bones standing way back behind the line here. You can barely see him on the edge of your screen. And understand, we're going to be sitting here back behind turn 4, so we'll try to give you best to get the action. Looks like that's Monster out there, 100 for Diamond City.
Taking on number 9904, Bones, who, if you caught the first game that they scanned in this morning, Bones is one of the main jammers in and on there. Did an amazing job.
Yeah, with definitely a force-impacted game, showing athleticism and also the power. Bones kind of leaning in there when the whistle was called, had a reset. Monster now enveloped on the outside.
So there's Bones coming out with the jammer. Had a little bit of a tight pack there to start, but he got through that pack. It looks like they've got the other jammer from Diamond City pretty well contained right now. So presumably looking at a grand slam, jammer that Bones will come out of this.
Yeah, so Bones getting the first lead jam of the game. Now we have Dr. Boom sitting down, so going to be down a blocker. Monster right now enveloped in the middle of that pack. Trying to creep our way over to turn 2.
Yeah, Monster's up front there. Sirens have a very strong free wall there. Oh, Monster squeezed through.
Yeah, it was like she was kind of feeling away and then able to slide off of Smiley and get free from the pack.
I've seen a couple games today where the first maybe half a dozen jams were kind of testing the water, testing, the feds kind of seeing where the weak spots are. And after that, a little bit of a handful of jams, the whole game changed. So, that was first jam is now done. So, we got number 6 coming up for Diamond City. That's Worthy. And number 411, Mad as Sin, who also jammed quite a lot in the past.
Looks like there's a little confusion at the moment. Our scoreboard here in the arena had the score go up for the Sirens. Looks like they're quickly switching it back and getting it corrected. It was accidentally on the Diamond City team for a little bit. Now they quick fixed it.
So Worthy is jamming for Diamond City. And Worthy is coming out with one jammer. Madison, on the other hand, is not leading. Now, Madison, quite a bit of jamming in the previous games from them this morning.
All right, yeah, Madison had a great day earlier today, and was very consistent. So Dr. Boom had some big, or excuse me, not Dr. Boom, Bones had some big jams, but right now it looked like Madison was very consistent earlier today, now already getting back into the action.
Now now I hear the game a lot better than I did.
All right, we're getting some crack help here. Double H helping us out with our technical system. So if you're having trouble hearing us, hopefully we'll get that squared away. Bones back out there for the Sirens. Looks like that's number 100 again. Monster for Diamond City. Quick, tight rotation earlier in the game.
There we go. Now both of our jammers are still held up in the pack. It looks like the Sirens are coming through with lead jammer. Oh, no, there's a jammer penalty. There's a cutting the track penalty being assessed to Bones from Sirens. So this will be a power jam now for Diamond City with Monster taking the jammer seat. Monster is still hung up there at the front of that defensive wall.
Yeah, that strong brace in the front right now. We got 75 leading the way. In 775, that's Prim Reaper. Finally able to reset things and get free, getting the lead jammer status.
So there comes Monster out of the pack. Sorry, we apologize for the sound. We got this taken care of if you have been keeping up. So Monster's now back in the pack. There's that solid four wall that the Sirens have been putting up so far in this game. And look at that, pretty stagnant blocking there.
Yeah, that's Blitzy in the front, bracing in the front, and then also have another blocker waiting to brace. My gosh, it's like trying to move like literally a stone wall. It was phenomenal work. There you go. Okay. All right, so resetting again. We have Monster engaged in the pack. Bones still sitting there. Power jam going to Diamond City. You don't usually want to give those up, but right now the Sirens defense is looking reinvigorated after first thing this morning.
They totally recycled their defensive wall there, and there's one blocker off on a penalty, but there's still three that Monster's got to deal with, and she goes up front to that, pivots that last line of defense.
Oh, actually got one skate out there just barely outside the line. You're going to see Monster coming back around.
Yep.
And look at that defense already set up and ready for with a good brace there now. Looks like that's 37-37 Smiley in the front.
Monster had to run behind that pivot. And there's a stop block penalty there assessed to another Sirens blocker. So that's two down. And Monster comes out and finally at the very end of that jam, it sounds like, puts 5 more points on the board.
Yeah, it looks like bleeding blockers might be the solution for Diamond City right at the moment. That was the only way for Monster to get through is finally they took enough blockers off the track. So 2 blockers sitting in the box to start the next jam.
So pack advantage now is going to Diamond City. And Madison, there's once again wearing the jammer star for the Sirens of Savannah, taking on number 6. That is Worthy from Diamond City.
Correct. And Madison jumps to the outside. Oh, Worthy with a spin on the inside, following off the hit.
Worthy had a good amount of room there on the inside line. Took advantage of it and picked up lead right away.
Able to spin off that hit, doing a nice job. Now carrying a lot of speed. Only 2 blockers to beat, and beat them, and they have.
At the same time, Madison has not completed her initial pass. She's actually still stuck there at the back of the pack. Some Diamond City blockers holding her back, so we have what's probably going to be another grand slam. Another 5-point, there we go, another 5-point scoring pass by Monster.
Yes, that's a quick 10 points up on the board. Reinforcements coming out of the box for blockers for the Sirens. Oh, and getting pushed to the outside. Nice work on the outside there by the Sirens.
Yeah, Madison, she didn't get blocked and held back a whole lot her first time. So this is definitely a different level of gameplay than we saw a couple hours ago. Now, she had a little bit of a temporary star stash there. She's got it back on her helmet.
But got the jam caught off by coming around. Another 3 points picked up by Diamond City. Now, as we pointed out earlier, Bones and Madison jammed almost primarily that whole first game. They did mix in a few jammers here and there, but they were steady. And obviously they got the energy. They're still back out there making quick turns of it. Meanwhile, a new jammer back out there for Diamond City. That's Mini Maniac.
And once again, there's Bones, number 9904, out on the jammer line for the Sirens.
Little extra room out there, a 3-on-2 advantage. Oh, and finding a hole on the outside, setting it up was Mini Maniac.
Diamond City looked well organized when they were warming up. Their uniforms, their helmets, everything is identical in that team. Very professional looking. And picking up lead jammer once again.
Well, they're here to repeat. They are focused, and that's what we should expect. Nothing less from the Diamond City Miners. Fell down, had a little trouble with the defense first couple jams. Now starting to assert their control on the game. 23-4, 23 minutes to go. Back at it, we got Madison again. Oh, and right back out there, Mini Maniac. Hey, take advantage of the success you just had, and let's re-roll the dice.
They're not getting I've seen in some of these games so far today, they're recycling those jammers 2 or 3 jams back-to-back with no problem at all. There's Madison. Madison comes out, and she's lead jammer. Just what the Sirens need right now is a little bit of an advantage. Now, she had about 2/3 the width of the track on the inside, and for some reason she took it straight up the middle there, and she's getting blocked by a really solid wall. I'm not sure what the strategy was there. It looked like she almost had a clear path between the jammer and pivot line.
All right, well, we had Mini Maniac get free from the pack, put the pressure on, force the call off, but that was a pretty good hole shot setting up that initial pass to get free for lead. That stems the tide for Diamond City.
There's Bones once again, and is that number 4? No, it's number 6. That's Worthy again. I think this is going to be a pretty common jammer matchup in this game.
Right, looks like penalty box is empty for a change.
It's 5-on-5 on the track. We're just waiting for that whistle. There we go.
All right, Worthy jumps into the front of the pack.
Yeah.
Diamond City looking to be really brace strong in the back. Worthy pushing on the front, get free.
There we go. Lead jammer given to Worthy. Some good blocking up there by both of our teams.
Yeah, Smiley reporting to the box for the Sirens. Now also another blocker reporting box for the Sirens. That looks like that's
a 5-point scoring pass there by Worthy.
That was Hit Cat just hitting down in the box. All right, quick 5 points. Meanwhile, Star looks to be passed over to Dr. Boom for the Sirens.
Yeah, and Dr. Boom's knocked out of bounds there in turn 1 and re-enters at the back. No doubt this will be another Grand Slam pass for Worthy.
That it is. Another 5 points coming around. Looking to build up a monster jam here is Worthy.
Yeah, there it is. There's that.
The defense when you need it. Able to get the knockout, but they can only slow him down for so long. Look at him get away from the pack.
Look at the way Worthy avoided that hit.
Able to get the feet up and actually was able to hit the jets to get away from it. That was very impressive.
Oh, Worthy takes a bit of a tumble there on turn 2. Avoids that hit by number 89 on the Siren, stays back up on skates, and there's 5 more on the board for Diamond City.
Now we see Dr. Boom reporting too.
I didn't catch the hand signal, but we're in the midst now of a power jam in favor of Diamond City. There's another 5 on the board, so Diamond City now with this jam off will be starting their next jam on a power start.
Yes, it is. 7 points on board for the Sirens of Savannah. 53 now for Diamond City Miners. You know, Sirens jumped out quickly. You thought they were going to really be keeping score with them, but Diamond City's been able to separate themselves.
Going by the game this morning, I thought that they would keep up. But hey, we still have 20 minutes left of the first half. It's still on the table for either team here.
All right, so definitely now have a timeout being called by the Sirens. It's probably a good strategy by the coaching staff. Just kind of let's take a breath, step away, get refocused. You had a really good start, but then you kind of had a bad run. Hopefully they can just take a step back and get refocused to get back in the game.
Take a different look at things here. So our officials on the track today, our referees, Admiral Mayhem, Harry Pitfall, BMD, Zebror, Tim the Ref, Steel City Kitty, Ref Metal, and Chef Ree are the officials, the skating officials in the stripes. Our non-skating officials, Emma Goldmangle, Mia Culprit, Professor Murder, Sarah Dactyl, Wendy Blessing, Beck and Hater, Accidental Doll, and Damon Mistress.
Yeah, and if you're enjoying everything out there, make sure you hit us up, #TalkToJRDA. Got questions or any awesome action you're seeing this weekend, use the #TalkToJRDA to chat with us on Twitter. And don't forget to follow JRDA on Twitter using @JRDA_rocks.
I heard a rolling whistle, so our next jam here is going to start. Is that number 15 up there? The 90.
All right, we'll just wait and get clarification. So out on the power jam right now, getting set and ready to go. That is 05 Ginger Snapper. Ginger Snapper driving forward, gets free from the pack, went down to a knee, continued forward.
I believe this is Ginger's first time jamming in this game so far.
It is indeed.
So she's in the engagement zone. She's now in the pack, comes up, she's got 2 blockers from the Sirens up front. She's knocked out of bounds. And there's a high block penalty being given to Ginger now, so that's going to release Dr. Boom.
Dr. Boom taking the star earlier from the star pass from the jammer. So now back out there trying to jam, trying to get things set underneath the way. Coming out of turn 2 there. Great defense by Diamond City. Oh, big hit. Knocks him out. That was 76, I believe. Or 79.
That was the pivot.
Little regulate her.
So there's Dr. Boom out of the pack now. Initial pass, complete. There's now the first scoring pass underway. And Ginger Snapper is now back on the track for that high block penalty.
There were 5 points picked up there by Dr. Boom after getting free from the pack, got the initial pass. Only 2 blockers remaining. That is Prim Reaper and Smiley out there doing their best to slow up the jammer there, Ginger Snapper.
So in spite of the penalty, Ginger comes back on, makes a 5-point scoring pass, and is now on another scoring pass. We don't have a lead jammer in this jam, so we're going to run the full 2 minutes.
Nice coordination there with Prim Reaper and Smiley to get the knockoff, and obviously with them being a lead, Ginger Snapper took time, went behind the whole pack to get back in.
There's another 5 for Ginger Snapper.
Looks like we have the Pitt reporting to the box right now. That's Little regulate her for Diamond City.
Oh, Dr. Boom finally completes a scoring pass. Puts 4 on the board for the Sirens, and that jam is over.
Yeah, it was another 4 points picked up there by Ginger Snapper, extending the lead right now. 16 points by the Sirens, 67 for Diamond City. Now, don't forget, we got JRD championships all weekend long. Monday and Tuesday, we're going to have the JRDA World Cup, so enjoy the action this weekend. But don't forget, Monday and Tuesday, we're going to continue this on international style, bringing in all these teams from around the world.
We've got teams from Australia, Great Britain, Europe, and then there's 2 teams from USA, and there might be 1 or 2 more that I'm missing there. So in this jam, number 6, that's Worthy, taking lead jammer for Diamond City, and already puts 1 scoring pass under with another 5 points on the board.
Okay, so Bones did get a star pass, had to drop the star. It looks like Sutter Strutch was trying to actually pass the star, but now it's sitting here, out here, right by the, I guess, the jammer line.
The jammer line, yeah. Oh, look at the way, look at that. Oh, yeah, a hit goes on. Tried to take Worthy down, but Worthy just avoids that hit like it's part of her job.
Well, Worthy doing a great job. Body control, he was able to stay low and fight off the hit, able to keep that, I'm lost for words.
Yeah.
Low center of gravity, doing a
low.
great job. There we go. But once again, coming around for a scoring pass. Looks like we have referee go down. Glad to see he got back up. Jam ref.
That referee low blocked the skater, if I'm not mistaken.
Or vice versa. Yeah. Oh, great job with the ankle balance, but finally goes out. Worthy putting on a show right now, showing what made of. Patiently gets back in, now gliding around, picks up 4 points, looks at the jam ref and calls it off.
That jam over. Diamond City now up to 86. Sirens 16.
Most definitely. Penalty box looks like it is empty, so we're going to reshuffle. Diamond City, look at this depth. They're throwing out yet another jammer so far.
That's number 007, Blonde Assassin. And Blonde will be taking on number 411, Madison, once again.
Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. So being able to rotate through so many jammers may give their jammers some rest, whereas Madison and doing a great job continually being out there with Bones, but Madison getting lead jammer this time.
Madison's back in the pack. Look at the way the Diamond City blockers turn around. They're looking opposite derby direction, just watching that jammer come into the pack.
Yeah, you don't see that much.
No.
They all were backward skating, facing the jammer, waiting for the contact. Oh, Madison wisely just lets the blocker go by, calls off the jam, but jam was called off. 4 points were picked up, but 3 points picked up by Diamond City. Yeah, that was very interesting. You don't see that where you have 3 blockers, and they weren't even locked. They were all spread across the track.
Yep. That must call for some very quick recycling and pack awareness. That's got to be an amazing way to get some good pack awareness. Pack awareness, as we know, is very important. Know where the jammers are.
Yeah, that was great. Well, interesting to see if they implement that a little bit more. Back out there is Worthy taking on Bones, but we have some whistles.
Official timeout being called right now.
It is the official timeout. Well, while we have the official timeout, don't forget you're watching the 2018 Junior Roller Derby Association Championships live all weekend on WFTDA. Stay tuned all weekend for 2 tracks of actions. We have the Open Division and the Female Division Championships hosted by JRDA and Philly Roller Derby. I can't say enough, Philly Roller Derby housing everybody here today.
Right.
Also want to give a shout out to all our skating officials, all our non-skating officials, and all the volunteers who helped make this happen.
Especially we're just 3 weeks now after another tournament here, and they have the energy to do it all over again.
Yeah, referencing the East Coast Derby Extravaganza, which is
Yes.
always a huge tournament here on the East Coast. But now we got JRDA action, and I've been loving what I'm seeing so far. So much athleticism, but the best part about it is seeing how well coached all these young athletes
Yes.
are. They're very organized, and there's great wherewithal to know exactly what's going on at a lot of moments. It was interesting on the other track earlier, we saw the pivot, put the toe stop right on the pivot line, forcing everybody to get behind. All the little tricks that you see from the veterans, they've already learned them all.
They were children when the pivot line starts, were commonplace in Derby. So here's number 54, amazing. We're taking another first-time jammer in this game. So we're kind of wondering now, is everybody like a sleeper jammer where it's just a skill that they're kind of hiding for a moment? If they're using their jammers to see who really has the best skill. Now, Amazing had about half of the width of the track to get through.
No, we have a skater down.
Yeah, we have.
Looks like Bones maybe took a shot to the face. He's down on the track right now holding his face, so we'll just hope to make sure he's okay. EMTs are out on the track taking a look at Bones, so we'll wait and find out what happens. Oh, I apologize. I did say Bones. It looks like that was actually Dr. Boone.
One thing I've always seen in my almost 4 years with roller derby, junior roller derby, is that every skater on both teams, even if they're down, they have a huge concern and respect for each other. All those athletes.
So if you're just tuning in, thanks again. We have a skater down on the track here with the Diamond City Miners taking on the Sirens of Savannah. It's a Sirens of Savannah skater. I'm Tom Foolery. Thank you for listening in. We're going to be here all weekend. Thank you for your time. All right, glad to see the skater is up for the Sirens. Looks like he's got a towel in the mouth, maybe took a shot to the lip or to the mouth. Good to see them up. That's Smiley, actually 37-37 for the Sirens. Sorry for giving 2 bad guesses earlier, but EMTs are taking a look, but holding the face. Hopefully everything's okay. We don't see anybody getting hurt here anymore. All right, ready to get back to the action. Right now, the way it sits, we got 2 blockers in the box for the Sirens. We have the jammer in the box for Diamond City, and Bones is out there, big jammer. All skaters facing backwards, as you mentioned earlier.
There it is.
For Diamond City. That is a new strategy. We'll see if that starts to become a new thing.
I can't believe in all the years
I've never seen that.
We've all been in Derby. We've never seen that strategy before. I'm seeing a lot of first times in Junior Derby this weekend. I have seen some really amazing strategy.
That was a wonderful finishing hit by Worthy.
Yep.
We saw Jam and now showing the defensive chops.
I have probably seen more apex jumps in one half of a game this morning than I've probably seen in a year. And not just apex jumps, but successful. No penalties. And there's even a game where a skater jumped the apex.
Oh, Bones going right into the blocker, knocking the blocker over. I believe there was maybe a blocking with the head. Let's clarify. They were asking for a request for blocking for the head. I didn't see a penalty. See the coach out there.
We have an official review now.
Yeah, that was a strong hit. You could tell the intention was just to get the blocker out of the way, so we'll wait and see what comes from that. I'm pretty sure we can understand that they're probably requesting some sort of aggressive hitting with the head or something like that. So we have this timeout here. Want to give a shout out. Don't forget that we are coming to you live. The hashtag everything talk to JRDA Derby. We have the World Cup coming up on Monday and Tuesday. We'll be here all weekend for champs. I can't ask for much more. Like you were pointing out earlier, the apex jumps. We had the game earlier with the Sirens in Quad City.
Yes.
It seemed like every jam had an apex jump. And I hate to say it sounds like I'm exaggerating, but it was pretty close to it.
And it wasn't just your average apex jump. There were a couple jams where a jammer would jump the apex, land on a toe stop inbound, and then jump the other half of the apex immediately after. 2 back-to-back apex jumps completely around the pack. A very easy 5 points. Lots of amazing skill in these junior skaters that we were seeing today. We are glad that we can bring this to you, and we're glad that you're here with us watching this.
All right, now the winner of this game will come back for Game 17, which will be 6 p.m. on Sunday. So interesting, or excuse me, I apologize. Yes, they'll be coming back again tomorrow. I apologize, not Sunday. They'll be coming back tomorrow at 7 p.m. All right, I'll look at the schedule. My schedule's wrong here. Either way, we're still waiting for the official review. That's what's going on. We're checking out in the middle. It looks like head referee Admiral Mayhem's having a discussion with the captains and the alts. We'll see what happened. Looks like the penalty box is empty. We've got a score of 89-22.
Yeah, the alternate ref returned to the seat over there, so that usually means a ruling was made. So we're
all right, wait, find out. So this came as a result of the end of the jam. There was a big hit. Bones put a big hit into one of the blockers on the Diamond City Minion side. We saw the coach immediately come out and look for the official review. I'm sure some questions around that. We'll actually get clarification. We have our alt ref talking with the house. We're going to probably get the feedback from the house since we don't have somebody able to run up to us. So we'll stay tuned and get you the feedback. But interesting enough, Admiral Mayhem's out there giving a thorough explanation to both of the coaches. So
Admiral Mayhem has been in Derby for quite some time, at least 7 or 8 years that I've known of Admiral.
Correct. Ever since I've started, which is about 6 years ago, I've seen all the big tournaments. Admiral Mayhem is there, and you got to give credit to this very veteran crew that we have here. I see them at all the tournaments, not just JRDA.
I think Admiral came maybe from Charm City. I don't quite remember. I want to think it was Charm, but don't quote me on that. But very, very experienced referee. We have a pretty good ref. Well, we have a very good ref crew.
Like I said, we got a lot of veterans out there. It's funny. I've seen a lot of these referees that have been in a lot of the big tournaments and some of the NSOs who love volunteering, which we're glad to see. Also glad to see that the top-level referees are handling JRDA as well as WFDA and MRDA. Everybody gets a fair shake. It looks like Admiral Mayhem did take time, explain it very clearly to both teams. I see the star being passed out to Madison, so it does not look like there was a penalty
No one's going to the box
on Boom at all. So I think it looks like it's blinking, so the official review most likely will have been a loss. I don't see anybody reporting to the box. I don't see any change in score, so I think we're just back to the action.
So we're on number 79 here. Little Regulate Her will be jamming for Diamond City and Madison once again. Oh, Madison gets blocked there. Takes a little bit of a trip over number 42. Still stuck at the back of the pack.
Took a little trip after it ran over the blocker. Had to step over. But right now we got Little Regulator breaking free of the pack and taking control by Diamond City. So Regulator jamming for the first time as well. Yet another jammer. I believe that is the 6th different jammer used so far.
No doubt this will be a grand slam here once Regulator passes Madison, which happened by now because there's that last blocker out of the engagement zone, and there's 5 points on the board.
Madison getting worked around to the outside of turn 1. One blocker to beat. Numbers a little hard to see from our perspective. I want to say that's worthy, but I do not believe that. I think there's a little Dutch explosion there, and then getting a strong brace there by Mini Maniac.
Yeah, there's another fiver on the board by a Little Regulator. Madison is still stuck in the pack. She's in the midst of a star pass.
Yeah, took the star off, passed it over to the pivot. I think that's Scarlett Davidson. Yes, number 3, Scarlett Davidson taking the star for the Sirens.
That's a pretty clear advantage of having your defensive blockers facing backwards. They were well aware of that star pass.
Yep.
And they put a block on that jammer trying to stop that star pass. And they are currently swarming that pivot now jammer, number 3, Scarlett Davidson.
Yeah, it looks like we have a clockwise block being called on the pivot. That's number 4, Mini Maniac.
So Scarlett Davidson is number 3, the pivot now jammer. Finally gets out front of the engagement zone. Now that's only her initial pass.
And there you go. The jam is shut down after the damage is done. Now Diamond City up over 100 points, 108 Sirens 22, 11 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in the game.
Some of the innovation that we're seeing just in strategy is amazing for Junior Derby. Blows my mind.
Well, definitely you understand a lot of times these teams are coached by veterans who played WFGA or MRDA, and that's glad to see is that the JRDA is like a sponge, just picking up the strategy and doing everything. The jam was called off there.
Yeah, I know. I was hearing names like Teflon Donna this morning. I think.
Devoid of Mercy, Teflon Donna, Built to Spill, all Liberty Bells here for Philly, and I know a lot of the other teams like Angel City had some of the big team players from Angel City playing. We just like to see that knowledge transferred over. Looks like we have an official question still. The official reviews NSOs are calling for a timeout. So just so you're aware of what's going on, we have the official table in front of us standing up requesting the timeout.
It's almost like you're passing on an inheritance to a granddaughter or something, your grandson.
That wealth of knowledge being passed on. But it's interesting, as you can tell how well coached the kids are and that they're bringing that, and there's a good organization to the sport. You can see how they're playing very organized. Now, that just progresses on throughout life, whether you continue to play roller derby or something else. It's just having that wherewithal and understanding and track awareness. It's amazing to me. And then seeing them take that now if they age out. All right, looks like the referees are finishing up whatever their official review is for. We have Bones creeping way behind the line, now slowly catching up with 100 Monster out there as well.
So a little bit of a random factoid. Worthy, who is, that's number 6, so far has had the highest scoring jam, a 30-point jam in our first period here.
Both jammers break free, but in front right now is Monster.
And they're neck to neck. Both of our jammers are on scoring passes. Monster knocked out of bounds there on the straightaway.
That was a great job by Bones. Held onto the back of his own blocker, pulled himself back in bounds, gets the scoring pass for 4. Oh, gets up, gets down.
There's a star pass, and not star pass, an apex jump.
And then a 360 once he lands. Great body control by Bones.
5 points on that scoring pass. Makes a complete lap now around the pack. The pack is still kind of stopped there.
Well, that's that defense right now. The Sirens locking down Monster. We saw this earlier in the game. It looks like they're reorganized now, just grinding things through Hawk in the back stretch. They have one blocker report to the penalty box, so Sirens now down a blocker.
Monster still fighting now. Just a two-person defensive wall stops Monster from completing that pass.
Meanwhile, Bones still going around the outside, finish a pass. Now hopefully looking to get one more.
There's Monster with 4 points.
Dr. Boom plays offense. Bones throws another apex jump in just for good flair and tries to call it off, but was not lead jammer. I don't know if Monster realizes that they're lead jammer. I see I didn't know either, so it might have been some communication. Bones trying to outlast the last blocker, gets free. That's another 5 points.
I'm seeing a lot of these jammers. They'll have the straightaway between the pivot and jammer lines where they have a clearing about half the width of the track.
Bones got called for a back block, so Power Jam's going to flip after all the success early in the jam. Now Monster on the Power Jam.
What I'm seeing a lot of these jammers are coming into the pack from the engagement zone, and they'll have a third to half of the width of the track will have no opponents in it, but they're still taking the effort to charge up the defensive wall rather than take the inside where there aren't any defensive blockers.
But also you have those tricky blockers who like to do the bait where they try to set it up and then they close the door so fast.
And we have seen that in this game. We've seen they go through that outside or the inside, and then immediately that blocker's right there.
All right, already out the line. Another new jammer for Diamond City. It looks like we got Bumper Car out there standing by themselves behind the jam line.
All right, Bumper Car is up front. 4-wall by the Sirens is holding back Bumper Car. Bumper Car fighting, and there she goes. There goes Bumper Car, his lead jammer.
Yeah, I don't have Bumper Car on my initial list. Oh, there they are. Yeah,
Yes.
he's
Oh,
able to break
yeah.
out free. So Bumper Car out there getting free with a scoring. Oh, no, gets called for a back block.
Yep.
Just as you already had Bones release, and then Bones takes the star off the helmet willingly. So that means we're going to go a full 2 minutes. He had the opportunity to get in. But free from pack initial pass.
Yep. Scoring pass now for Bones as he puts the star back on his helmet.
Yeah, Bones has been a force. I think the size and strength of Bones really working on that defense. Also the creativity, them skating skills.
5 on the board thanks to Bones now.
All right, reinforcements come now. All 4 blockers back out there for Diamond City. Oh, and getting a knockoff. That was a great work there. Number 12, Ambush Ash, getting the knockoff. And now both skaters standing backwards, trying to do a backwards, almost like multiplayer blocking system.
Well,
once again, number 12, Ambush Ash gets the knockout, puts the hands up, say, come back behind me.
we have a Diamond City pivot now in the box.
Who needs the pivot when you got points being put on the board out in front by Bumper Car?
Bumper Car now back in. That's going to be a Grand Slam pass for Bumper Car.
Star
Well,
has been passed to
that's
Matt Assun.
Yep. So we're jammer on jammer now. Madison avoids a hit there in the straightaway.
Great wherewithal, knowing where the
Oh,
track was.
And there's a cutting the track penalty is being assessed to Bumper Car. So a power start now will go to the Sirens. It looks like Madison is maybe starting this next jam as a jam. No, okay.
Takes the star up, but that was another 4 points on that last pass due to that effort staying in here on the front stretch. 54 points now on the board for the Sirens. Sirens starting to pick up a little bit more momentum. They were going with that solid 2-jammer rotation, but it looks like Dr. Boom now going to start for the first time with the jammer star on the helmet. Did take a pass earlier.
Right.
But
And this is a power start now. Pack advantage going to Diamond City as they have, the Sirens have 1 blocker in the penalty box.
Low block on a blocker there, sitting down. That's 007, Blonde Assassin.
So Dr. Boom now on a scoring pass, taking on the Diamond City defense.
Getting a little help from friends. They're able to pick off 1 blocker. Still 2 more to beat.
Yep, there's 1 down. That number 42 is the last one. That's Mount Crushmore.
Mount Crushmore doing a great job of doing the laterals one-on-one. Able to slow down Dr. Boom. Meanwhile, released from the box, Bumper Car now through on initial pass. And calling it off, seeing Bumper Car come around. Dr. Boom gets the damage done, now running the score up to 59 points. I think 1 more picked up, yes, 60 points. All right, ran now score 130 to 60,
Yep.
4.5 minutes or so and counting down. Not many blockers out there. There they all jumping off the bench for the Sirens. We got Prim Reaper sitting in the penalty box, so 4-on-3 advantage going to Diamond City.
Diamond City now 70-point lead over the Sirens, but we still have the rest of this half and the rest of the second half of the game still anybody's game. That can still be turned around.
Oh, cut track is the call on Worthy.
There we go.
Sirens setting up that defense in the corner, and one blocker jetted back. Good job. Bones finds a hole on the outside.
Picks up lead, gets past that 3-wall and back.
Another
Now-
blocker sitting down now for Diamond City. That's 0-5, Ginger Snapper.
Look at the way those defensive blockers just watch as that jammer comes in.
Yeah, and they seem to have enough leverage where they're not just getting upended. So they got good derby stance leaning forward that they can take the contact and not get ran over. Oh, caught on the inside. That was 0-6-3. Bumper Car now playing defense, catching Bones in the air.
Bumper Car with the rollback.
That was a great job. Actually
Yeah.
did a little apex jump on
Yep.
the outside just to get free. I love that effort from defensive players.
Very amazing defense by Diamond City. Not only are their jammers fast that we're seeing, but we're seeing that defense is on point. No matter where that other jammer is, they're watching them like a hawk.
Right now, the Sirens are on a run right now. 65 points out on the board. Diamond City right now sitting at 130.
So there's number 411, Madison, wearing the jammer star once again. And number 007, Blonde Assassin, is jamming for Diamond City Miners.
Penalty box is empty. Now we have a timeout, I
Team
believe, being
timeout.
called by Diamond City. Well, I got to say, right now, Sirens is starting to put some things together. That defense, which we saw on the first jam or two, is starting to re-show itself, able to hold the jammers up. But right now, Bones has been doing a great job with that last jam, able to put points on, even though he went to the penalty box.
It's not too late for a second half comeback. I mean, that 65-point difference is, I mean, a jammer penalty, 2 jammer penalties, really, it's not out of the realm of possibilities at this point.
Well, I think right now what the timeout is to do is try to stem that tide. You don't want to lose that momentum at the end of the half going into the second half.
Right.
You just want to try to make sure to settle the team down. I'm sure that's what Diamond City's doing right now. Meanwhile, we got some cheering coming on from the Sirens getting fired up as they're starting to have some more success. We got all the Sirens fans down there in turn 1 making noise right now, so pretty excited to see how all the noise being made here. Yeah, you hear in the background them fans for Diamond City doing well, but then you got them Sirens screaming as on top. So right now we got Madison still going up against Blonde Assassin.
A little tidbit of information. So far in this game, Bones has scored 48 of those 65 points you see on the board for the Sirens. Bones, very strong jammer in this game. Madison, well, Madison is still stuck all the way at the back of the pack.
Trying to fight off, but getting free is Blonde Assassin. Great lateral movement, able to slide Madison to the inside.
Dr. Boom taking a seat in the penalty box, the pivot for the Sirens.
Madison loses the star.
Now, Madison can't pass that star right now because the pivot is serving a penalty.
You can't sit on top of the star quite like that and roll back, made contact with Madison, so we're going to lose. I believe that's Mini Maniac going to sit down for Diamond City.
Blonde Assassin now on another scoring pass. Almost tries to dive through that pack. Oh, a cutting the track penalty is assessed to Madison, so this will be a power jam now for Diamond City.
Uh-oh, wait a second. I see the jammer getting sent off the track.
Maybe not. Maybe that's the blocker.
You are correct.
Yep.
Re-engaging, but taking time, killing a little bit of time off the other jam, but Blonde Assassin still going strong, taking a hit and rolling through on turn 2.
So Blitzy, number 449, puts a block there on Blonde Assassin, but Blonde Assassin just manages to stay within an inch of the boundary, the track boundary, and stay in bounds and avoid that hit. Blonde Assassin now completes a 5-point scoring pass.
All 4 blockers came up with a very well-timed offense and sealed to the outside, giving Blonde Assassin a quick pass. Now they're back engaged with Mad Assassin, who's released from the penalty box.
Like Madison is unsure of whether or not she cut, so she stayed down to avoid the penalty, skates out of bounds, and is rolled back by
big hit there by
Diamond
Blitzy,
City.
dumping to the ground. Blonde Assassin, about the only way to get her stopped is get her on the ground. Calls the jam off. Big jam there by Diamond City.
Yeah, Sirens are still stuck at 65, and they've been stuck on that mark for several jams now. Diamond City almost 100 points north of them. We have an official review being called now.
Waiting to see. I see the coach out there for Diamond City, but I thought they were using it. So it is the Sirens that are calling the official review. So wait and get clarification on what that is. Now, as you're enjoying the JRD Championships, don't forget we have the Cup tournaments coming up for the WFTTA 2018. They'll be streamed live on WFTTA TV, starting with the North American East with Kalamazoo. Then you're going to have the Michigan from, also hosted by Kalamazoo. So it should be pretty fun to see. Don't forget to keep an eye out. We're going to have Omaha, Nebraska for the North American West, and then WFTTA Continental Cup hosted by Omaha Roller Girls on the 24th and 26th. Our final Continental Cup will be in Europe, hosted in Birmingham. That should be exciting. And then October 27th through the 28th, passes will be there And don't forget, we got the championships also coming up on August 31st of September. We'll have WFTDA playoffs for the international side. So we'll wait and find out what's happening with the official review.
In the meantime, there's Bones taking the Jammer star for the Sirens.
Now we get the chants coming for the Sirens. Always great to see a good traveling crowd. So all the friends are coming up from Savannah, Georgia, and enjoying the efforts of the Sirens, who had a really nice win, which they're proud of, by Quad City.
Yes. The Sirens game earlier today, I house announced, and my co-announcer with me was actually the father of one of the Siren skaters. So he was giving little tidbits of the skaters and their background and stuff. But I guess he said it was probably an 11-hour drive to get here, which I believe.
Worthy's hamming it up out in the backstretch.
Yep.
Actually goes down for a second with a big smile coming back to the Jammer line.
Almost a halftime show. So number 6, Worthy, will be taking the Jammer seat for Diamond City.
Shaping Jammer spot, not the seat, not sitting in the penalty
right.
box. Let's
No
not get
seat.
confused. But Worthy out there pushing on the front of the defense. Bones now trying to work in the back.
Worthy coming out of the pack, lead Jammer, now on a scoring pass, almost finds a hole there on the outside, knocked out of bounds by number 2, Cinderella.
The door was closed. Cinderella got the hip out there.
They baited. They baited.
But guess what? The points were scored, so must have got the feet down inbounds. The points were picked up there by Worthy.
5 points given by our Jammer referee, and we're counting down to our end of our first half.
We have a whistle. Make sure no timeouts or anything were called, but that looks like we should be at halftime. We got the referees talking, but right now we're sitting at 65 points for the Sirens, 163.
A 98-point lead by Diamond City.
Looks like everybody's starting to check out and walk off. We'll wait and find out how the rest of this game is going to play out in the second half. But so far, I've been extremely impressed. Sirens are down by a good bit, but that defense has been very strong. But that Jammer rotation of pretty much the whole team by Diamond City has been impressive.
Right. That's not something that we're used to seeing. We're used to seeing a team that brings 2 or 3 Jammers in a rotation. We're not used to seeing, most of the roster being able to jam and effectively jam. And
yeah, we've seen 6 different Jammers by Diamond City so far in the first half.
So what we're seeing from Diamond City is that the backwards facing blocking, and that's proven to be very effective for them, as well as their Jammers. Just being able to rotate through most of their roster so far has jammed at least 2 or 3 times, and they've been effective each time.
All right, we're going to take a little break now. We got about 8 minutes, almost 9 minutes before we get back to the action. So stay tuned for the second half of Diamond City Miners and the Sirens of Savannah.
We're back.
All right, welcome back to the second half there at Diamond City versus the Sirens of Savannah. We took a quick look at the penalty board. It looks like the Diamond City Miners total have 18 penalties. They have 3 players sitting with 3. That's Amazing and Bumper Car. 2 players. And then looks like a little different story for the Sirens. They got 21 penalties. 4 penalties on Dr. Boom, 3 on Blitzy, 3 on Prim Reaper, and 3 on Bones.
So we're not very penalty heavy. We don't have anybody sitting on 5 or 6, in danger of fouling out or anything like that. So 3's not too bad for the first half. It's it's not. We're not seeing any questionable hits or anything like that.
Most definitely. Now, the winner of this game is going to move on to play the winner of the River City Riot or the Mob City Misfits at 1 p.m. on Saturday. The loser consolation game will be at 5 p.m. facing, of course, the loser of the Mob City River City game. So this team's moving on to play the team that comes from the next game, whether win or lose. So a lot on the line. We know there's a lot of pride in Diamond City. Returning champions looking to repeat, putting on a phenomenal show, as you mentioned, towards the end of the half. The 6+ jammers for the Mob City has been a big impact, rotating around and giving everybody a little shot and still having plenty of success.
Right. So by the end of the first period, we calculated that Bones had actually scored 48 out of the 65 points that they're currently sitting on. Worthy had actually had a 30-point jam for Diamond City. in that first half. So we've got a lot of skill here on both teams, and we're going into our second half. If you're just joining us, 163 Diamond City and 65 for the Sirens. So everyone's they're doing their equipment checks right now, making sure everybody is safe, and as soon as the equipment checks are done, we will have the second half of our game underway.
All right, now don't forget, if you have any comments or want to give any feedback to the amazing action all weekend long, make sure you hashtag #TalkToJRDA. You got any questions or any comments you want to use? Hashtag #TalkToJRDA to chat with us on Twitter. And don't forget to follow JRDA on Twitter using @JRDA_rocks.
So number 6, Worthy, taking the Jammer Star up against number 9904, Bones.
Yeah, both Jammers having a lot of success in the first half. Bones now locked in the back with a strong 4 brace. Meanwhile, Worthy trying to separate that offense of the Sirens.
Worthy picking up lead, just avoiding a hit there at the front of the pack. Bones is still stuck, taken out of bounds on the inside with a rollback.
Yeah, Worthy did a nice little spin on the toe stop to spin around to get free, and now once again on the toe stops, breaks free for a 5-point
scoring pass there. Bones is still stuck in the pack. No, Bones is
now
in the
sitting.
penalty box. So this is a power jam now for Diamond City. Worthy just brushes off that hit there at turn 2 like it's nothing. Still on his way around the track, and there's another 5 points on the board.
Yeah, Worthy very active with the feet, keeps the feet moving, trying to keep them in bounds. A lot of times that's the strategy is you can always put them down in bounds if you're trying hard enough instead of getting stuck and knocked over. So tiptoeing around the outside. Now knocked off to the outside. That's Dr. Boom.
So end of that jam, Sirens nothing, and 4 on the board by Diamond City. So Sirens are still pretty far behind now, over 112 points behind.
They are indeed, but Jammer was released from the penalty box, so we have Matt as Sin taking the star for the Sirens. We're now going up against Mini Maniac. Mini Maniac did jam in the first half, but I think it was only once, but back out there again.
Yeah, Mini Maniac there almost had a hole on the inside. She's trying to get her. I mean, look at her back and forth on her skates. She's just zigzagging from one side of the track to the next. Very agile, picking up lead Jammer.
Well, what was impressive is that there was a blocker got up underneath of the hips, actually drove to the inside line, and she was able to stay in bounds still. Calls the jam off.
4-point scoring pass by Mini Maniac. Nothing on the board again by Madison with the Sirens. So 4-0 at the end of that jam.
Continuing where they picked up the first half. Now they're going to send 54 out there. That's amazing.
We've seen amazing jam maybe 2 or 3 times in the first half, taking on Bones, who is just very strong in their jammer rotation for the Sirens.
Yeah, almost every other jam.
Right.
Once in a while they put somebody else out there. I think in the first half we saw Dr. Boom jam, but pretty much everyone else was Madison and Bones. So getting now recycled back behind the jammer line. Bones takes another knock, and that is Worthy, who just got done jamming, now playing the defense. Getting stingy, knocking out Bones. Smiley rolling all the way back, dropping back amazing, forcing the recycle.
Well, both of our jammers now, victims of the opposing team's defensive wall. They're just getting pummeled around like
Well, they're going backwards is what it is. Great coordinated defense, the hits and then the drawbacks. Bones still fighting to get to the pivot line. Meanwhile, amazing trying to get out of turn 1.
I believe that's Bumper Car in back from the Diamond City, just all by himself, just one-on-one, just stopping Bones from getting past him.
But they're continuing to do this face blocking and able to skate forward, actually, not worried about turning around, skating forward. They're getting Bones caught, and he had to stay out of bounds.
5-point scoring pass by number 54, amazing, while Bumper Car is just a wall all by himself.
Smiley coming up and playing some offensive blocking, but then there you go. Bumper Car once again knocking out Bones. Bumper Car, one one-man show in the back.
Their pack awareness is on point, and it's showing. There's another rollback there. 5 points by Amazing, while Bumper Car is still just fighting Bones to keep him from coming up.
Well, that was actually a star pass to Dr. Boom. Very similar body structures between those two guys,
Yes.
but Dr. Boom takes a big hit there by Bumper Car, goes down to a knee and back up. Now knocked to the outside. Bumper Car once again did get called for a penalty. That's going to be what the Sirens want to see, get Bumper Car off the track. That was great, phenomenal face blocking pretty much the whole time by
Yes.
Bumper Car. Getting some assistance from friends. You can't say he did it all by himself, but wow, that face blocking, that is something impressive. Seeing 2, 3, sometimes all 4 blockers facing the jammer, that's pretty impressive. You don't see that too often.
There's Madison again for the Sirens taking on 007 Blonde Assassin for Diamond City.
Only 2 blockers remaining out there right now for Diamond City.
Pack advantage going to the Sirens right now. Madison with a rollback on the Diamond City jammer, who was knocked out of bounds.
I mean, this is an interesting strategy. There's only 2 blockers right now out there for Diamond City. Now Diamond City trying to catch Madison, able to slow her down, and advantage now goes to Blonde Assassin. Just barely getting in front.
Barely. They're only about 4 feet apart, and still neck to neck. Madison takes the inside at turn 3, gets knocked out of bounds on the outside. And there's a cutting the track penalty is assessed to Madison, so this will be a power jam now.
That was a great effort by Speed Bryu, actually going back, putting the hands up, making sure the referee saw, got that cut track call. Looks like we're going to have Worthy sitting down in the penalty box as well for Diamond City. All right, lead jammer now sitting in Blonde Assassin's pocket, coming around scoring, looking to score points.
Blonde Assassin comes up. All 4 Sirens blockers up front, trying to hold her back. 2 of them down, and Blonde Assassin comes out, and there's another 5 on the board.
Yeah, Madison now re-engaged with the back of the pack, trying to deal with that Diamond City defense, getting met on the outside by Speed Bryu, and then Bumper Car.
Madison finishes her penalty, comes back onto the track, almost completes that pass, knocked out of bounds there on the pivot line. Madison now stuck behind that 2 wall at the back. That we're just seeing some very good blocking, even with 1 or 2 blockers, just very effective.
Well, it's figured out. Diamond City's figured something out. We're able to lock the blockers up, but then also do that face blocking, working well. Star has now been passed.
5 points on the board by Blonde Assassin in that previous scoring pass.
Yeah, that was Prim Reaper took the star for the Sirens, and the jam was called off. So never actually getting free from the pack was the Sirens. Great defense, as you pointed out there, by Diamond City.
Penalty box now clear, so we're going to have a 5-on-5 coming up on our next jam. 54 for Diamond City. Amazing. We'll be taking the star again.
As well as Bones out there. Bones have a little talk with the pivot, Dr. Boom.
There's our jam starting whistle.
Dr. Boom pushing some of the other blockers, trying to get the knockout, but great job by Amazing staying in bounds. Now tiptoeing the inside, goes down.
Like Amazing went out of bounds there on the apex and is dragged to the back of the pack. So lead jammer's position is still actually open. Our jammers are kind of going out and coming back in, just endlessly being pummeled out of bounds.
Bones gets hit in the chest, able to break free, taking the hit. Lead jammer going to the Sirens. Oh, we have Skater go down the inside and a ref go down.
A ref low blocked.
No, looks like they both got up okay, making sure. That was the jam ref getting taken out.
Apex jump completed. Well, not quite completed.
All 4 points, though, were picked up there.
Okay, all 4 points. Looked like there might have been a penalty assessed to Bones, but there was not. So we are still going to be 5-on-5 in our next jam. Oh.
Right now, do we have a Skater down on the far side? Sorry, we did not see that. There's a couple referees down. The EMTs are going out, so we'll give some time to make sure they're taken care of.
If you ever take the time to dig into it, the skills test and rules test for the skaters is already very long.
The Skater was the referee earlier. That was the referee who got tripped up we'll wait and figure out which one. EMTs are having a conversation there with the referee, who was the jam ref that got knocked down earlier. It looks like holding nose, going over to the box with the EMTs.
And this is why we have the alternate ref there.
Nah, but we just want to make sure everybody's okay. That looks like Zebra, who took a little knock, going over to talk to the EMTs. All right, well, while I have this time, don't forget, JRDA championships happen all weekend long, and then we got the World Cup starting on Monday. So stay tuned all weekend long. You got the championships for JRDA here on WFTDA TV, and then World Cup, you'll go to Twitch TV/WFTDA and watch both days for free.
You might as well do it.
You don't have to pay, and you get to see the best youth athletes in the world playing roller derby.
We're going to have Australia here, Great Britain, Europe. There are several from across the globe, and 2 from right here in the United States, the U.S. East and U.S. West. Definitely stay tuned for that. That will be right here at the Feasterville Sportsplex.
Yeah, we're in Feasterville, PA, house of where we've done so many East Coast Derby extravaganzas, and want to give a shout out to Philly for hosting this event as well. Thank you so much. Now back to the action.
Okay, jamming for her first time starting the jammer as a jammer. Number 3, Scarlett Davidson, who only jammed in the previous half after a star pass.
Right.
And Scarlett's taking on number 79, Little Regulator.
So we already have a star pass. It looks like Madison, took the star. Maybe that was a strategy. Haven't seen anybody do that yet this weekend.
Had to have been.
To intentionally try to get through the pack by passing.
So lead jammer now is still open. That could go to Little Regulator.
Cut track is the call on Madison.
Oh boy.
There you go. Now lead jammer is awarded to Little Regulator,
who is on a power jam as she comes into the pack there between turns 2 and 3, gets through that pack with almost no resistance at all and puts an easy 5 on the board.
Riding the hip of Ginger Snapper on the outside, actually whipped off her own blocker. Only 3 blockers out there for the Sirens. And good body control getting out of the pack. Little Regulator now starting to wind up a jam. 5 points.
Yep, number 22, Tindgren, putting a final hit there on Little Regulator, but Regulator gets past Tindgren. Now it looks like Tindgren and number 02, Cinderella, up front, kind of working the last line of defense there. Little Regulator gets past them and puts another 5 on the board. So taking full advantage of this power jam right now.
Now we do have Madison reporting back into the pack. Re-engage. We did lose a blocker there for the Diamond City blocker.
There's 4 on the board by Little Regulator. Probably going to be a lap point. Well, maybe not.
Cut track is the calls Madison.
Penalty.
All the Diamond City blockers jumped back. She got in. As she made contact with the other jammer, she didn't realize that maybe she was out and jumped right back in.
So definitely going to be an extra point there. That's a 4 and 4, I believe, by both of our teams. So Diamond City now over the 200-point mark, 234, and the Sirens of Savannah 73. And we're about 19 minutes left to our game.
Now credit's got to go to the Sirens. They're taking on the #1 team in the country. They were able to put up 73 points, putting quite a good showing out there. Unfortunately, this next jam has Worthy approaching the line on the power start.
A power start and taking on all 4 defensive blockers there by the Sirens.
But again, a little bit of help in the front by one of the blockers. Broke open a hole, and Worthy did not hesitate.
So Worthy now on a scoring pass. Gets into the pack, past 1 blocker. Fighting to get past the other 3. It looks like there's 3 points scored, 4 points. 5, there's our extra point, our lap point, or our penalty box point. So there's 5 on the board. And just as that pass is started, Madison comes in. Yep,
Madison tiptoeing down the line. Unfortunately stepped out. One more cut track for Madison.
She did. She got knocked out of bounds just about 2 feet shy of the pivot line, stepped out, came back in, and kind of stood there. Maybe she was thinking about what was happening, and there's that penalty. So
Yeah, the jam is cut off now. You have Bones, the pivot, and Madison in the
Yes.
box. So
Not-
they're two primary jammers in
yes,
the box.
not what they need right now. We're probably sitting on probably 6 penalties, give or take, by Madison, because that was almost 3 back-to-back. Not a good situation for Madison, who in her previous game today just really did a good job. And right now up against Diamond City, Diamond City just taking the upper hand.
Right now, Mini Maniacs out there taking on only 3 blockers for the Sirens. Not sure. I guess they're questioning maybe a cut track, and Mini Maniac went back.
So there's lead jammer and a power jam once again, just establishing their dominance in this game.
Correct. We have Madison just approaching the pack now, going to come get engaged with the back of the defense, as you see on the track coming into turn 1.
The past couple jams have been power jams in favor of Diamond City. Those jammer penalties always get you.
Yeah, it looks like Bones now has the star in hand. Don't want to see Mad as Sin get in any more trouble, pick up any more penalties. Bones getting worked to the outside. I believe that was by Speed Bryu. Speed Bryu working with number 12, Ambush Ash, doing a great job playing on Bones.
So Mini Maniac coming out with a 5-point scoring pass, I believe, from our jammer referee. There's that one blocker blocking at the back of the pack. Now before that was Bumper Car. Right now that's number 89, Speed Bryu.
Correct, but if you look at the footwork, doing a great job able to cover laterally, getting from side to side. That is some strong coaching and individual skills. Speed Bryu should really get the credit there.
So there was no cut assessed there. I'm guessing that might have been a no pass, no penalty. No pass, no penalty. But I'm got confirmation that it was indeed a no pass, no penalty.
And that was Ambush Ash reporting to the penalty box for Diamond City. Bones coming around now. Jam is called off. So we're going to start with a 4-on-3 blocker advantage for Diamond City. 73 points on the board for the Sirens right now, about halfway through the second half of this game.
Yes.
Now don't forget, the winner will be taking on the winner of the River City Riot versus Mob City Misfits at 1 p.m. tomorrow. The loser will play at 5 p.m. tomorrow against the loser of the River City and Mob City game.
So we came into this second half with about, correct me if I'm wrong, right around 64 points for the Sirens. So they haven't been able to put 10 points on the board now in quite some time. 65 points, so yeah.
Yeah, so now that's great effort. They're playing defense. Diamond City, first half was able to get a lead, but it looks like they're really starting to wear down. And we do have a shorter roster for the Sirens. I believe there's only 11 players out there. So taking advantage and just grinding it down. Of course, when you're relying primarily on 2 jammers, that can make things tough, especially if they start getting penalties and really have to work hard.
So number 063 Bumper Car taking the jammer star for Diamond City. And we saw Bumper Car a couple games ago just on point with that blocking. Did a pretty good job jamming in his last jammer. And he's taking on number 151, Dr. Boom.
Yep, Dr. Boom stepping in. One of the only other jammers really to jam for the Sirens. We also saw one other jammer, but trying to push forward. Finds a hole on the inside, goes down.
Oh, lead jammer going to the Sirens. Pack advantage also going to the Sirens.
We got a back block.
Yep.
We got a skater down. Hold on, we have a skater down here on the front stretch. It looks like that was Smiley. Smiley's on the track. Yeah, just as we had the jammer break free, Dr. Boom, we also saw the other jammer, who was Bumper Car, get called for the penalty, and then on the other side of the track, we had a skater down. Sorry, we didn't see it right away, but now the EMTs are out on the track taking a look at Smiley. Smiley, unfortunately, went down earlier in the first half, so we definitely hope Smiley's okay. We don't want to see skaters getting banged up all weekend long.
Smiley back up.
Yeah, looked like
on
getting
his
some
skates.
assistance off
Yep.
the track by the EMTs.
That will be 3 jams that he will have to sit out, but I think
Right now, that's
doesn't
not the
seem
important. We just want to make
yeah.
sure that Smiley's okay. The
Right.
EMTs are helping him off, still working to get off the track, so we may have a little bit of a delay. Make sure that Smiley gets the attention that he needs. All right, once again, everyone, thank you for listening in here to JRDA Championships. We're at the Sportplex in Feasterville in Pennsylvania. Once again, I'm Tom Foolery.
George Carnage, we're here in Feasterville, just northeast of Philadelphia, bringing you the 2018 Junior Roller Derby Association Championship. And Monday and Tuesday, make sure you tune in for our World Cup. We have the privilege of bringing that to you live as well, and we hope that you will join us with that. It looks like this timeout that we've taken for the injury is kind of winding down to an end.
Yeah, we're waiting for the officials. Looks like we got some more discussion happening. Our non-skating officials going out. We also going to see our jam timer jump back, still giving the official timeout sign. But as a result, still, don't forget, we had a blocker in the box at the end of that jam for Diamond City, as well as bumper car was sent to the box as the jam was being called off. So we will have the opportunity for a power jam for the Sirens. They have 73 points on the board, looking now to scratch some more points out. They have Dr. Boom out there because we've seen several penalties come up late and starting to really wear down the jammers.
Right, and I believe we have at least one skater who's probably sitting on 5 or 6 penalties, and you know that's a big chance to take, especially since that was Madison, who's been doing a lot of jamming in this game. Jammer penalty and an expulsion is not going to do anything good for that team.
It looks like this has changed into an official review right now. Diamond City Miners are requesting something. They're in there talking to the referees in the middle, as you can see on your screen. Both captains and assistants in there, so we'll wait and get clarification on that as well. All right, but stay tuned. Amazing action all weekend long. Coming up next, we're going to have the River City Riot taking on Mob City Misfits here in the open division bracket. The winner of that game will go take on the winner of this game, and the loser of this game will fall to the consolation bracket and pay the loser of the River City Mob City game. So these teams better get very familiar with each other, because they're going to be playing against each other very shortly. So that'll be Saturday tomorrow at 1 p.m. and 5 p.m. You will see these teams again.
We are about 14 minutes left to our game, so we're halfway through our second half. 261-73, Diamond City with almost a 100-point lead over the Sirens of Savannah.
But credit's got to go to the Sirens. They've been doing a great job taking on the #1 seed overall, returning champions. They got to be proud. They played some tough physical defense in short stretches. They haven't been able to be as consistent as Diamond City has, but the effort we've seen from Bones, getting a boatload of the points for Sirens, bodes very well, seeing his career as he continues to go forward.
We're seeing good gameplay on both teams. We're seeing very clean gameplay. The majority of our penalties have all been cut tracks. We're not seeing any a whole lot of low blocks or back blocks, or there might have been one high block in there, but we're just not seeing a lot of big dives and anything like that. We're not seeing a lot of sloppy, careless skating. So very professional skating by both of our teams, doing an amazing job.
And just to follow up, Bones will be aging out. He's the oldest skater on the team. Recently graduated, will be attending Mercer University in the fall. So then we got to figure out, where's Mercer? Will he potentially look at migrating to an MRDA team and take his skills to the next level, to the next way of playing with the Men's Roller Derby Association? So good luck. Glad to be here and have one final shot to play at championships here for Junior Roller Derby.
There's our jam starting whistle. Bones, almost takes lead.
Worthy with a beautiful job with the knockout.
Yep.
Looking to get the cut track call, but did step out, was Worthy.
very aware that he got back in bounds in front of that blocker, stepped back out to avoid that cutting the track penalty. So lead jammer still open. It could still go to Bones, but there's that rear-facing blocking. Just unbelievable pack definition.
Speed Bryu with a leap up over and then the outside apex jump. Amazing work just to play defense. That's the effort we love. All right, right now Bumper Car released from the penalty box now, free on the main stretch. Does the same thing, jumps the apex on the straight.
Yep.
I mean, not the apex, just jumps ahead on the straight.
Jumps the line.
Oh, very physical. Put a big hit on and free. Now that's a scoring pass for Bumper Car, full 5 points.
5. Now Bones is still in the back. Every time he gets past one blocker, there's 3 more that quickly recycle. I mean, their blocker is almost like a jail cell. It seems like there's no way to get through that.
Oh, running backwards through the pack. Bumper Car putting on a clinic now. Meanwhile, the star has been passed to Prim Reaper, taking over scoring responsibility for the Sirens. Now that's great defense being played in the back. That's Ambush Ash actually facing correct direction for a while, which is surprising with the Diamond City team.
5 more on the board by Bumper Car. Into the pack, out of the pack, at the apex, almost no effort. Another easy 5 on the board. Just now at this point, Diamond City just 19 points shy of the 300-point mark.
Good deke of the shoulder there. Set up the outside and came back in. Another 5 points by Bumper Car. Now see, it looked like the Sirens were really trying to focus, just trying to get Prim Reaper out of the pack, came back and played more offense, weren't as worried about the points being scored by Bumper Car. But hey, at this point in the game, if the game's winding down, you really want to help your jammers out, give them a chance. You know, they've been regularly jamming Madison and Bones all game long, and they're starting to see a little bit more wear, and they're throwing some extra jammers out there to give them a breather, because they got to come back tomorrow and play again.
Yes, and there's Madison putting the Jammer Star on her helmet, taking on number 89, Speed Bryu. I don't know if you've seen Speed Bryu jam at all in this game.
Nope, that's the first one, but we did see just recently some good defense, and obviously that defense is due to good footwork. Now able to get out quickly and get lead jammer status for Diamond City.
Speed Bryu comes out with lead jammer. Madison breaks free, completes her initial pass. Very risky, because I think she's at least on 6 penalties, or five at the very
Wow,
least.
she's definitely coming around, putting points on the board.
That.
Oh,
4.
Speed Bryu jumps and makes contact with the blocker.
4 and 4 there by both of our jammers. Some good blocking by Madison and good blocking by Speed Bryu.
There was a penalty. That was a legal procedure. Jumped and then made contact with the blocker. I was waiting to see if they call. Speed Bryu now going to sit down.
Oh, yep. Now we've got a power jam. A power jam for Madison. We have that block, that leaping contact, that misconduct penalty that we just saw here.
Madison, no resets, gets a run on the outside.
5 points by Madison.
Sirens up there trying to keep the blocker separated, give a little bit of breathing room to Madison, but Madison knocked to the outside. Blockers come up trying to play some offense, trying to at least basically block off a few people, and there you go, Madison able to get
another
free.
5 points. Just what the Sirens need right now, just trying to close that gap up as best they can, because now we're jammer on jammer.
I just basically trying to score as many points. Got to feel good, got to walk out of this game, realize they got to play tomorrow, and that was a good leap there by Madison.
Right, 4 and 4 there, jammer still neck to neck. Just a very simple block there by Speed Bryu, puts Madison out of bounds. Madison comes back in.
Yeah, got about half a track advantage. Now coming around, jam called off before anything else could be scored. But that was great effort by Madison. Now up to 95 points. It's not necessarily anymore about trying to get back in the game, but you still got to feel good and be able to continue to have success to take that into the next game, because you're playing the reigning champs.
That jam by Madison might have been the highest scoring jam by the Sirens, at least in the half, but possibly even in the game.
All right, we're looking.
It's a very real possibility.
All right, we got 9 minutes and 30 seconds or so and counting down here in the second half. Got the official timeout call. So 95 points on board for the Sirens, 306 for Diamond City. Now don't forget the winner of this will come back and face the winner of the Mob City Riot and the River City Riot, or Mob City Misfits and River City Riot.
So I'm being told that while we're kind of taking this official timeout, the highest scoring jam by the Sirens in the first half was by number 9904 Bones. He had a 23-point jam. We're not sure where Madison might have just been a little bit shy of that. Probably around 15 or 17 points or so, give or take. So still not bad. Not bad for what we've been seeing so far.
And speaking of which, Bones has a star again, and Worthy, who had, I believe, a 30-point jam earlier in the game, takes a star as well. We should have some exciting jamming action. We have one blocker in the box for Diamond City. All array of blockers out there for the Sirens of Savannah.
Pack advantage going to the Sirens now. Diamond City has one blocker in the box. And Bones fighting that defensive wall, just can't catch a break from those blockers. Just
well, using that leg drive, trying to separate him, drive forward, but then Worthy reverse spin out of the front of the pack, gets lead jammer status. But just shrugging off the jammer. That is Ambush Ash, tough as nails in the back.
Knocks Bones out of bounds there, right around the pivot line.
And the worst part is you see how they're facing forward. The first one doesn't get you, the second one does. And that time, the pivot was able to get a piece of Bones. Ooh, that was a block up high to the face area. Hopefully everybody's okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. Looks like all the skaters got back up. Bones takes a star off, still trying to work way through. Worthy getting worked around to the outside, grinding down that momentum he had early in the jam.
Okay, another 5 on the board.
Cut track called on Bones, so Worthy now has a little more time to start piling on the points.
We have a power jam now in favor of Diamond City. There's another 5 points on the board by number 6, Worthy.
But that was Kit Kat, be able to make some contact, able to slow him down briefly. Only 2 blockers out there. That is number 3, Scarlett Davison, and Kit Kat. Actually, I think it's Hit Cat on the back of her jersey where it says Kit Kat on her sheet, so apologize if I'm saying it wrong. Hit Cat's a pretty cool name, though.
Yes. Another scoring pass in progress by Diamond City with number 6, Worthy.
Getting low, showing the back, doing a great job with the agility. Turn around, look at the clock, and now speeding up, maybe looking to get some more points.
It looks like that might have been a 30. Is that a 30-point jam there by number 6?
No, another knife through and then spin out. Looks like 4 more points.
34 points scored by Worthy in that jam alone, and is Worthy off on a cutting the track penalty?
I think they're just talking to him over at the box, so wait and find out. If anything, there was no cut track and went forward. No, the next jammer's coming back out. That is 05 taking the star, Ginger Snapper. I believe that's the first time starting jam as a jammer, taking on Mad S-In.
Now both of our jammers now held up in that pack. Ginger takes a fall there.
Driving forward, just driving forward. Oh, everybody in the front of the pack goes down, and then standing up, Ginger Snapper.
Confirmation in that previous jam that Worthy did score a total of 34 points. Highest scoring jam in that game. Madison out of the pack on a scoring pass.
Setting up like she was going to jump. Got the hands low, and a reverse spin around the outside.
Oh, there it is. There's a cut track by Madison. This could very well be a foul out by her.
We'll wait and see. It looks like sitting down, so we'll find out right now. Still jamming, doing a great job. Ginger Snapper trying to find a hole on the outside. Oh, took a good solid hip check there by Cinderella. Able to stay in. Great body control.
5 on the board. Ginger Snapper now in the pack, ready to put some points on the board. At the back, finds a hole there on turn 4. all 4 blockers from the Sirens trying to work together.
Yes.
They recycle up front there pretty fast, and they're doing a pretty good job holding her back.
Yeah, that was Dr. Boom,
Yep.
Cinderella, and then also working in conjunction with Stutterstruck. Stutterstruck with a final hit now. Another recycle, and there goes the Sirens fans cheering on that tough defense.
Madison is out of the box, still on a scoring pass, putting some more points up as long as she can.
Yeah, but she earned them hard right now. They just keep seeming to lock up and get everything done. All right, both jammers now crawling to a halt.
Looks like a clockwise blocking penalty is assessed to a Diamond City blocker there. 5 on the board by Madison.
And then also continuing to finish out the jam, another 5 on the board right now by Diamond City.
350 points now. Now, it seemed like just a few minutes ago we were saying they were going to break the 300-point mark, and in that time, over 50 points scored. Sirens finally breaking the 100-point mark, 104.
All right, with 4:40 counting down, we have Worthy jumping back out there as well as Bones. Bones going up and trying to be physical on the inside, but he's getting hit by Speed Bryu. Juts out the front. It does get lead jammer status, though.
Yes.
Recycles himself.
Still has the re-enter at the back. So technically, his initial pass is not complete yet, but he is lead just because he fell behind.
Well, he did complete it, but unfortunately, then he got recycled. That was Bumper Car back after playing defense, and now getting called for the cut track
penalty.
Yeah, that means we're going to run the full 2 minutes now because he did get awarded lead jammer status. Now, Worthy getting released from the penalty box. Skater goes down, tiptoes real quickly, then resets and hits the Jets. Worthy out of the pack on initial pass. We have Bumper Car reporting to the penalty box here for Diamond City.
Bumper Car fighting and fighting. At turn 4 now, knocked out of bounds, has to re-enter at the back, so some increased positional blocking there.
Yeah, that's actually Worthy out there trying to bump through, and there you go, actually able to get enough extension and movement of the other skaters, breaks free for 5 points.
A back block penalty now being assessed to Worthy, and it looked like that was the real deal. It knocked that blocker forward.
So unfortunately what's happening now, it looks like we have Bones standing back behind the penalty box. That can mean only one thing, that unfortunately Bones has accumulated too many penalties and will not be returning to the game. So unfortunately he couldn't return to the track even though the penalty ended as a jammer. That's unfortunate.
And that means that he's out and they will have to field a jammer to sit for the rest of his time.
Yeah, so they're working to get clarification. I think the penalty ended. The problem was he couldn't re-enter the track. That's why he was standing behind. So right now, Madison standing there swinging the jammer star around. Nice little huddle and hug in the middle by Diamond City. You got to feel pretty confident they're playing a very solid game, whereas the Sirens have to take what they can away from this because they're going to be back in action tomorrow, and they're really showing what they're made of. 100 points up against the defending champs is no small effort at all. Really glad to see them continue to fight now down to the end.
355 points by Diamond City, 104 by the Sirens. We're nearing down to our final 3 minutes of the game. Madison wearing the star for the Sirens of Savannah, and we're waiting to see who Diamond City throws in there as a jammer.
Well, right now we have the jammer sitting in the penalty box for Diamond City. That is Worthy, so let's wait and find out.
That was that back block that we saw at the end of that last jam. So power start going to the Sirens.
Madison already standing at the line, so we'll wait and find out. The official timeout is going to continue now. Don't forget, if you have any questions or any comments you want to add, make sure you hashtag #TalkToJRDA. If you got any questions, anything you want to use the hashtag #TalkToJRDA to chat with us on Twitter. And don't forget to follow JRDA on Twitter using @JRDA_rocks. So thank you for listening We are now back here, 2018 JRDA Championships. We're starting to wind down day one, and we're starting to see the cream of the crop rise to the top. Diamond City, one of those teams. They're going to win the right to take on the River City Riot or Mob City Misfits tomorrow. And then, unfortunately, it looks like the Sirens not likely they're going to pull this out, so they'll most likely face the loser tomorrow of the River City Riot and Mob City Misfits. And just to let you know, in case you're wondering, that game is up next. So 7 p.m. will be the River City Riot taking on the Mob City Misfits. So stay tuned. You'll get to see which team these two will face tomorrow. Those games will be at Saturday at 1 and 5 p.m. Like I said, I'm really proud of the Sirens. They had a tough game this morning, able to pull out a solid win, and they're having a pretty good showing so far today. 100 points against the champs, and they're continuing to roll out there. Unfortunately, they lost one of their main jammers now, unfortunately, with Bones going down with too many penalties. Nada Sin out there looking to take on the next jam.
And as you said, Madison is starting on a power start. So there's our jam starting whistle. It finds a hole on the outside, almost no effort, and picks up lead jammer. We can only hope that Madison will use this to her advantage. It gets past that defensive wall and back like nobody else has managed to so far. Avoids a block by the pivot and puts a very easily scored 5 on the board for the Sirens.
Well, that was great coordinated offense right off the line. It looked like they had a planned play, and they executed it very well. Stutterstruck sealed the outside hole. Oh, Madison fights off two waterfall of hits.
Not only fights him off, but avoids that strong blocking that we've been seeing at the very back of the pack by Diamond City.
Well, she was carrying a lot of speed, and that might be the way to get around that forward-facing blocking. He's carrying a lot of speed. You have control. They can't move laterally. Gets one more pass and calls it off.
I think what they were doing, they were watching Madison's path, and just before she got into that wall, she just juked right to the outside line and just took them by surprise. So we're down to under 2 minutes left. 355, 118 in favor of Diamond City. And Dr. Boom jamming up against number 6 Bumper Car.
No, that's number 6, that's Worthy. Worthy just got released from the penalty box and is going to stay back out there. Now, Worthy's been quite a talent to see. So athletic, so strong, able to use good body control, getting low and around blockers. Now, Dr. Boom, a taller blocker, knocked to the outside, has to go back. Taller blocker, taller jammer. What am I saying?
Blocker and jammer. Now, Worthy comes out with lead jammer to show for it. Is into the pack. It's knocked out of bounds there by 775 there, a defensive blocker for the Sirens.
That's Prim Reaper doing a good job bottling up Worthy. Now both jammers on scoring passes. And, yes, that was 4 points. We were worried about the whistle.
I heard a whistle, too. I was waiting for a hand signal.
But both jammers scoring, 4 points for both.
Nothing to worry about. 4 and 4, they're on the board, like we said.
Looks like Diamond City might be comfortable to keep this jam going, run the rest of the clock out. We got 49 seconds left in the game, and another juke to get around the outside.
There's 4 more on the board by Worthy. Dr. Booms knocked out of bounds on the outside, re-entering behind number 79, Little Regulator.
Yes, and you saw her pointing and barking out the instructions to the rest of the defense of exactly what to do, taking control.
There we go. We're jammer on jammer now, 4 and 4.
All right, so it calls off the jam. So we do have enough time. Yep. We have 20 seconds and counting down. See if the Sirens choose to call a timeout to get one more jam.
Yep, there it is. There's our team timeout taken. So we will run our timeout down, and we will bring you one final jam from this game.
Yeah, I was wondering to see if Diamond City was just going to keep the jam going. I saw Worthy stand up. I thought he was just going to sit there, take his time, let the clock run out. But nope, chose to call it off. And guess what? For his effort, he gets sent back out there.
Going by where they were, I expected them to just run that down to the end of the period clock. But we are going to have one more jam now.
One good call off means, go right back out there. You're going to kill the rest of his jam rest of his clock for us. Dr. Boom back out there as well to finish this game. Credit to both of these jammers who've done a lot since Dr. Boom started as a pivot and then came primarily into the role coming down the second half and showing very good jamming skills for the effort.
And we're going into our final jam with Diamond City 367, Sirens 126. Both of our teams have done an amazing job.
Oh, yeah, so proud.
Yes.
So proud of all the skaters, and thank all the parents who help support all these skaters and the family members. We got all the Sirens fans down, standing and cheering down in turn one, looking for Dr. Boom to hopefully get free.
Look at that jump there by number 6, Worthy. Like we've been seeing him do so far, not even an apex jump, just lifts his feet up, sails across the pack.
Avoided that big hip check that was thrown, waited for the time to run out, and called off the jam. I think there's been a statement made, and that is Diamond City is ready and willing to repeat. They are making a statement right now. We're waiting for everything to become official. But right now we're sitting at 126, as you said, to 367. Which is heck of an effort by both of these teams.
Since it's pretty clear that nobody really scored any points, that's pretty much where we're going to stand. But our referees are going to make sure the math is good by our scorekeepers. There's our final. Diamond City taking the victory, 367. Sirens of Savannah coming to us from Georgia, 126.
All right, they're going to give a shout out to both teams. Now stay tuned. Coming up next, we have the River City Riot taking on the Mob City Misfits. The winner of this game is going to take on Diamond City and move on in the winner's bracket, consolation bracket. We'll now have the Sirens of Savannah and we'll take on the loser of the next game. So we got more exciting actions to come tomorrow, but yet one more game today.
Yes. Diamond City taking their victory lap now around the track. We have quite a number of spectators out here. We have our next two teams ready to warm up and take the track.
All right, well, we got some time between the next game, so stay tuned. Once again, I'm Tom Foolery. I've been with
George Carnage.
Thank you for listening. We got one more game to go today. And don't forget, we still got 2 more days of JRDA championship action.
Followed by the World Cup on Monday and Tuesday. Stick with us for that, too. We thank you for watching us, and it's been our pleasure to bring you these games live on WFTDA.tv.